You do the talking, I'll do the reading.
I thought she
go over
did
there.
everything.
Well, let's just, she's not comfortable. Okay, go over there. Ellison was an elephant, a little elephant and young. He was a young and little elephant, but not a baby elephant. His friend and his sister Edna could all make their trumpet blast like other elephants, but not Ellison. He tried and tried, but all he got was a little tube.
See?
Cried Ellison.
I didn't sound like an elephant. Elephant will just sound.
His mother insisted.
It sounds like you, but I don't want to sound like me.
Ellison answered.
I want to sound like everyone else.
Ellison's mom got very close and touched him gently with the tip of her trunk.
Oh, so you're not ordering an elephant?
Whoa, wait a minute. What? I missed that part. Performers get to eat afterwards.
Swallow.
Performers eat afterwards. Then they stuff their faces with food. But
All right, Ellison's mom got very close and touched him gently with the tip of her trunk.
Ellison, you're not ordinary elephant? No, sir. You are extraordinary. If your name is usual, all great elephants were history unusual. That would make them great. But they tease me, Mom. Oh, now, Ellison, one day I want to be like you. In the meantime, you're an elephant. Has to have a thick skin.
With this, she gave him a motherly squeeze. Together, they walked down to the watering hole, trunk in trunk, while the other elephants were bathing. Elephant liked it when Mom washed his back, but when she sprayed under his chin, the ticklish Ellison giggled and squirmed. He watched as the others played their noisy games.
I'm going to get you.
They squealed and blasted, honked and blared. Not wanting to be called
Smellsome.
or
Tootie again.
Ellison made his way up to the bank and behind a small clump of trees where he could be alone with his imagination. There he tried and tried to make that wonderful grand call that came so easily to everyone else. He filled his cheeks with breath and he threw his big ears forward, but all he got was a little tube. Full of despair, Ellison stomped and stormed until he stumbled right over a bush. That did it. He kicked that little bush and pulled it from the ground and shook it with his trunk. And that was when that bush yelled at Ellison.
What do you think you're doing? Leave me alone, you elephant!
Thought Ellison.
I may yell at all kinds of animals, but never by a bush. I'm sorry, little bush.
Ellison apologized.
Are you okay?
Then out of this bush dropped that pesky weasel.
Don't have to get Ellison.
He yelled and waddled away. Ellison followed him around the corner, over the hill, and into the valley, talking as he went.
Hey, wait up, weasel. You can't talk to me like that. I'm bigger than you. I just had to see you in the first place. You can't make it sound like anyway, because I can't make a trumpet sound like an elephant. All I can make is a stupid little toot.
Weasel stopped in his tracks and turned around to look up at Ellison.
Okay, do it. Do what?
Ellison asked.
Your sound.
Weasel answered.
You stop whining and let's hear it. Fine.
Ellison agreed, and he blew a sad little sound.
Okay, that's terrible. I'd be mad too.
And he disappeared into a hole in the ground. Ellison was not afraid of that little weasel. He walked right up, stuck his trunk down the hole, and blew one very crisp, clear sound that echoed underground.
After you talk for the words, I talk the words, I sound.
What followed was a long silence during which Ellison was a little afraid. He wondered if he should have just let Weasel be this time, but then Weasel popped out of the hole with dirt on his fur and a smile all over his face.
Da-da! I like!
He said, shaking the dirt off.
Do it again. Don't make fun of me.
Replied Ellison.
No, I'm not!
Weasel insisted.
What else can you do? I don't know.
Admitted Ellison.
Can you hold it longer?
Ellison tried, and he could.
And can you make change the pitch?
And he did.
Hey, I can you let it quit nose like.
And he did.
Wow!
Yelped Weasel.
This is great. Okay. Close your eyes and look inside. If you find your voice, let it out.
Ellison had no idea what a voice should look like, but he closed his eyes and looked inside and looked until he found it. It looked like nothing he'd seen before, but he knew it right away. It was his very own voice. Ellison's legs felt stronger and his heart grew bigger. He took in a deep breath and started with a long note that went on and on, until all of the ears on all of the elephants in the watering hole turned to listen. They set out at once in search of that most extraordinary sound.
That's right, Ellison.
Hollered Weasel, jumping up and down.
Don't stop now. You got it.
And Ellison did not stop. He made every sound that came from inside, and it formed a tune that made him dance. When the other elephants spied him from atop the hill, they saw and heard what they'd never before seen or heard. They stood and they watched with their mouths hanging open, and before they knew it, all of their trunks were swinging in time to the rhythm of Ellison's jazzy music. When he came to the end of his brand new tune, Ellison opened his eyes and saw and heard the whole herd. They rushed downhill to see the elephant who invented music. Leading the pack was Ellison's mom, beaming from one big ear to the other.
How do you do it, Ellison? I know it by Weasel. Weasel?
Asked Mom.
Your imaginary friend? Yeah, he helped me find my voice, and it's very unusual.
Edna, Eleanor, and Eli crowded in next to Ellison.
Teach us! Teach us! Please!
Everyone wanted to be as unusual as Ellison. All of the elephants and some of the other animals, too, danced and sang and kept rhythm while Ellison played his jazz trump. When the sun went down, the lightning bugs lit up the darkness. All night long, animals came from everywhere to hear the unusual elephant with the extraordinary sound.
Very good. Now you bow. Go bow and you bow. Go bow. Bow or curtsy.
There
you go.
Very good.
What?
Bow!
Oh, I bow. Okay.